Okay, welcome to another 3D coat tutorial. What we're going to do is just make a simple vase prop, in this case for use in Poser, because that's the kind of community I write for, but could be used in any other external renderer, modeler, whatever. So I'm going to go to Voxel Sculpting and pick a sphere. Not sphere, it's a cone. Okay. Just going to rotate that around a bit. So you start off with this gizmo, which you can use to sort of size it and shape it. So that will size in that direction. That will do the top and the bottom width. You can move it around. This spins it. And when you're ready, just press enter, and that will get it in there for us to do some work. Okay, so go front. So I'm not going to do much in the way of sculpting with these things here. I think I went through those another time. Perhaps not. What I'm mostly going to do is use the pose tool to shape my tube here to something that looks like a vase, more or less. So first of all, the pose tool. I'm going to go into line mode first and just draw a line up, and that will select part of my mesh. Now these colour gradients here just show me what's going to be affected and how much it's going to be affected. The red obviously more than the yellow, more than the green, and this gizmo is what we're going to use to affect it. Now if I slide this up and down, that's restricted in that axis. If you use this one, it's not. You can go all over the place. I want it restricted in that axis, but I want it taller. There we go. Now the other option I have is to twist it. So you can twist it one way, oops, or in the other direction, or you can simply twist it like that. Now that's what I want, so I'm going to leave that twisted that way. Okay. So when you're ready, you can clear your selection, and I'm just going to select the other part, or the other direction now, and I'm going to use this to go to scale. And I'm going to scale that out at the bottom. So this is turning into a bit of a fat bottomed jug kind of thing. I don't know what they look. I don't know much about these things, so whatever you call it, that's what it's turning into. Okay, so I want to do that again, but slightly lower down. Oops. I'm going to make that smaller. Now, once I've cleared that, I'm going to get the ring selection. I'm going to select down here. And that should select once I've done it correctly. No, it's not going to do it for me. Let's try the other direction. No. It's just not being useful and helpful to me today. There we go. It's not the place I want it to be, but for some reason it really doesn't want to do it. Okay, never mind. What I was going to show you, and what I'll show you on this middle section, if it will do it, is the ring selection will select a ring. And then you can do your same kind of operations on that ring as you could just on an end. Quite handy that way. What I was going to do was try and select this bottom bit to make it a bit more spherical. But sadly, it's not wanting us to do that. Okay. So we have, once more or less, a sort of jug, vase, whatever you want to call it. And what we're going to do now is topologize it to make it lower resolution. It is currently running at 170,000 triangles, which is going to be something about 85 to 90 1000 polygons, which is a little bit much. So heading to the retopo room, I'm going to select the strokes option and draw strokes all the way across down my jug object. I'm going to add a few extra down here to cope with the bottom bit. There we go. And then one stroke right down. I'm going to have 24 rounds, 24 segments round. I'll press enter. That should go away and fill it in for me. Now I'm going to Control Z that because I don't believe that the bottom segment got put in. That's easily done. Just move that down there. Center again. There we go. So now we have a more or less low poly shape, same as our jug. And I'm just going to pick another tool here and click subdivide, and then we'll get it a bit closer. And we're on 1150 faces at the moment, which isn't bad. Now, I've had a bit of bad luck in doing this next bit, so bear with me. It will either work or it won't. I'm going to use the cap tool to start with. No, I'm not going to use the cap tool to start with because it's not working. Excellent. I believe that's because perhaps my bottom ring there isn't quite low enough. But never mind. I'm going to leave it as it is. It's going to sit on the floor anyway. Okay. So now we have a roughly vase-shaped kind of object, and we're going to just do some UVing on that. Now, if you have another UV package, it might be more suitable for this. We're more comfortable with it, do it in that one. But I'm just going to split this up into segments so that it wraps a little bit better. Now, pelt on this would probably be slightly better. Well, I prefer a fully circular tubular map, but I'm just getting it so that I can paint on it without too much trouble. Now, to even it up a bit, you might want to try the relax tools. There we go. That will just relax the mesh a little bit onto the underlying voxel thing that we created, and that's about there. So what I'm going to do now is just export that to the Vase object, which I've done a couple of times today. And with that said, I'm going to create a new project